So community currencies like this have existed for, I guess over 100 years. You know, and really like credit as a form of money is credit as money is really how money started. You know, so money like this has always been used. You know, whether they used to use stone tablets, right? And they like that was actually the first writing they found was debts and balances. People exchanging in IOUs that were carved into stone, right? As a permanent ledger. That was like the first writing that they discovered was a ledger balance like this. People keeping track of checks and balances of money. All you need for money is a ledger, right? Is a stone solid, you know, is a solid ledger or solid enough, right? One that we can all trust together. Now, over the years, there's been physical forms of credit too, but in reality, the physical forms are just a token,
symbol, kind of
a symbol representing the ledger, right? And certainly, in modern days, right? You know, the internet works great for ledgers, right? Because everybody has access to it and everybody can add to it, and it's cheap. Villages is a newish type of credit system in that it doesn't rely on central issuers of credit. So like with banking and time banks and mutual credit systems up before villages, they all rely on an organization to vouch for people and issue them a set number of credit, change their line of credit as they establish trust with them, and they work as a central hub, networking hub, right? Relying on central issuers comes with its own pitfalls, which you can imagine just having central points of potential failure. And there's administrative costs. So they have a more of a inclination to charge a tax on every transaction, or to maybe inflate the monetary supply, right? Or to charge membership dues, things like that. So if we can certainly have a physical version of this. If there's, you know, after this freaking pandemic, you know, if there's an after, I don't know, whatever, right? If people still have a desire to use physical money after all this, you know, there's certainly there's been movement and people have had that desire here in Pune, especially in the past, right? If we still have that, you know, and there's movement and there's people that want to hold space for that, it's not hard to do. You know, there's tons of models for doing that, successful models for creating paper community currencies, and that is also within the scope of our organization, right? It's not on our short-term goals. We have we would like to establish like a storefront eventually, and with the storefront, one thing that we'd like to with the storefront would also come like a paper version or token version, I don't know, what, nickels or something, right? But in the meantime, we're especially right now, we're really just focused on the digital version.
Yeah, it makes sense. I get your strategy. Make it easy and able to start the process now. You can just do it immediately this way. You don't have to, yeah.
Yeah, you creating your own network. Anyone, anywhere in the world can actually use this platform, whether you're in, sub-Saharan tribal Africa, if you're in a tribal African village, or you're, in San Francisco or out here in Hawaii,
Mm-hmm.
whether you have access to global currencies or metals or, I don't know, Bitcoins or whatever, or not,
Mm-hmm.
you can create your own money right
Mm-hmm.
there. And then just by having individuals who are trustworthy amongst their personal networks. So our network is built on your trust. So instead of having like banks, time banks, or traditional banks maintaining balances and issuing credit, every individual essentially becomes a bank. I've actually discovered this idea during the Occupy movement. I was in Bay Area, but I found it online actually. I was looking at Occupy this, Occupy that. I saw Occupy the banks. I said, "Oh, what's Occupy the banks?" Is that doing sit-ins at Wells Fargo? And I'm like, oh, okay, no, that's like let's become the banks. We don't need these large, too big to fail institutions as to be our trusted quote unquote third parties, right?
Yeah.
We have social media, we have social networks. We can create our own networks of trust.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need third parties to be middlemen between us. We can create our own network. So that's really how I got into villages and like where I come from in this with this vision and with this platform is that it's a more democratized money.
Mm-hmm.
And to respond to your other mention of a unit of account. So mutual credit systems can use any unit of account. So we could do the same type of village platform. I mean, I could, anybody actually. Villages is all open source. So it's like anybody could create their own, maybe call it villages dollar. Or villages2.io. Whatever you want, right? Something completely different. It doesn't matter. You can install the platform on your own domain, and you can change the unit of account to whatever you want. You could do dollars, you could do gold, you could do silver, you could do quarts of honey, you could do coconuts, right? Or eggs. I know there's a community currency in Canada, and their unit of measurement is eggs, right? So the unit of account that we chose for Villages.io is Village Hour. So Villages.io is a global platform, and there's people all over the world using it. A Village Hour is a little different in every community, but it's a stable unit of account in every community. A Village Hour is equal to unskilled hours labor wage. So it's like it's not necessarily minimum wage, because that's not really determined by the people. That's like the minimum that you're able to pay people legally. This is more of a sustainable hours wage for an unskilled worker. So what's like in Pune, I find that there's a general consensus that that's about $15 an hour. is what you pay people to do menial tasks at your land, or like young unskilled laborers, things like that. Pay them $15 an hour, and that is so in Puna, that is our unit of account.
It makes sense. And so if you're a skilled laborer or really experienced or whatever, then you can say, I'm going to charge 3 village hours for an hour.
That's right. And that's what I charge. I charge 3 to do technical work. I do body work as well, and I charge 4, for 4 village hours for body work. So more involved with laundry and all that too.